Are you tired of dating? Well, maybe dating is not for you. Let me rephrase that. Maybe the way you come to the date is not for you. If that you change the way that you appear to the date, you change the way you experience the date. That way you have a much better experience. In order to do that, well, before we talk about how to do it, how to change your appearance in order to change your experience, I first want to talk a little bit about the dating experience. I know many of you went out with a lot of boys, girls, whatever, and you think that there's no woman out there for you, or there's no men out there for you, or all the good ones are taken, or there's no good one, many thoughts. And when you go out a lot, and every time you become vulnerable again and again, and you open yourself to other people, it can hurt. So I totally understand why you had enough of dating and why you're sick of it. And I'm sure there were also some, by the way, some good experiences over there. Let's also put that on the table. But in the big picture, if you went out a lot, so you're like, oh my God, another date, especially if you're not really sure you want to go out with a person. It's like, yes, no, should I go out? Should I not go out? All these thoughts come, and like your mind works on 200 miles per hour, just like that, going really, really fast. And sometimes you want to tell yourself, I had enough of it. And again, I totally understand you going out again and again and opening yourself to new people and letting them to know you and you to know them could be really tiring. Together with that, there are also a lot of great experiences over there. So I want to share with you that there is a way to come to a date, to appear for a date in a way that serves you, in a way that you could actually feel good, feel better. Doesn't matter who will be the person, doesn't matter what you're going to do. Well, that maybe a little bit matters, but there is a way that you could feel better also before the date, also during the date, and also after the date. So let's start diving into those steps. All of that started basically after, probably, I don't want to say exact number, but after going out with many girls, I got like, okay, I got this kind of understanding, I'm sick of it. And if every time I come and I meet a girl and I'm like, I'm not really up for it. So first, it's not fine to take, I'm not taking the person out of their home, but it's not okay for me. That's what I told myself. It's not okay for me to have someone come and meet me when I'm not, in my peak, or it doesn't need to be in the peak, but I'm not in good energy. The steps I'm going to share with you came after an experience that I had with a girl that I was supposed to meet her. And when I go and meet girls, I have a condition for myself. I only go and meet them if I have the energy, if I'm in a place of well-being, and if I'm in a good state. Otherwise, I don't want to waste her time. I want to respect her, and I don't want to waste my time. This time, I had the energy, but then like a few hours before I was supposed to meet the girl, I was like, I can't believe I'm going now on another date. I was like drained out of energy. I was able to climb 10 mountains that day and not go on that date. And I told myself, like, why the hell are you doing this to yourself? And then I remember, like, about an hour before we were supposed to meet, I was, okay, well, the fact is that we're going to meet right now, and it is what it is. Now, if I'm going to depend the way I appear to the date, to the meeting, based on the other person, I'm kind of tying myself in jail, because everything is based on her. Well, if that's the case, I'm not really gaining anything over here. So what I decided was basically to do the next 3 steps. Step number 1 was just to stop, breathe, focus on my breathing, and focus on all the things in life that I have, that I appreciate, and focus right now on myself. What do I have to bring to the date? And when I did that, I was all about focusing on things that I have in life, things that I have in myself, and, which is really important, why are the reasons I decide to say yes and meet that girl, okay? So there are those reasons. Now, when you focus on the things that you have in life, the qualities you appreciate in yourself and in the girl or in the guy you're going to meet, so that helps you just, calm yourself, do some breathing. And what I decided to do then was basically just to decide that this is going to be a good date, period. Now, in order for it to be a good date, well, that I did already before, I chose a place that would be a good experience. Doesn't matter what happens, like the place is a great place. I'll always have there a good experience. Doesn't matter if the girl will be interested or won't be interested or won't really be there with me. The place has a good energy, a good experience. Now she's welcome to join. So, like I said, number one, I changed my state through breathing, through focusing on what I have and what she has that I connect to. And like I said, also, I chose a place that I know doesn't matter what, both of us will enjoy there. It's a good place, good energy. Number two, during the date itself, always focusing on what is right here, right now. So every time my mind start to think, well, she said this, maybe that means that means that, and all going crazy, I was like, wait, right now here, right now we're enjoying this talk. And if I wasn't enjoying the talk, we could change it to something else. But I was focused right now in the meeting with that girl, going on that date, focused right now, not thinking what could have happened, what could happen. And basically, if that would have been the case, I wouldn't have been in the date. My body would be there, but my mind will be all over. So that was number two. And then number three, when the day was over, I had this experience that I always had after a date. It was, why should we keep on going out? Wait, why did I go out in the first place? Wait, what can happen if we keep on going out and all of these other things can come up? And my judge in my mind used to just think and think and think and think and think and think again. So now, when the date was over, what I told myself was, okay, it was, what can I learn from this experience? What did I connect to? And my focus was, number one, what can I connect to? And by the way, the day was okay. I wasn't falling off my chair, but it was fine. And I was focusing, okay, I could connect to a few qualities, and also to the qualities that I didn't connect to, by the way, what can I learn? And most important was, after focusing on that, is putting the judge in my mind aside. Now, if I would have told, my mind, listen, I don't want to hear what you have to say, all of these, paralysis of analysis, it probably would have stayed there. But I told my mind, listen, dear mind, let's meet in a week, okay? In a week we'll meet, we'll have a meeting together after I meet the girl a few more times. And in a week we'll meet and we'll talk. And that's what happened, okay? So from a place that I was really sick of going out, and I think that today many times it's better to say no if you have an opportunity to go out, if you don't think that there's any opportunity, any option to create a good relationship over there. But if you're debating and you think there could be some type of potential, so you could take that place of, wow, I'm sick of it, and then when you come to the date in that, in that vibe, in that energy that you're sick of dating, what do you expect? You expect the date to go well? Well, maybe once in a blue moon, but usually when you bring that energy to the date, so the girl or the man, whoever you are, whoever you're going out with, will feel that, and that would affect the date. So you could really come to the dating world from a place that serves you. And when you change your appearance, you change your experience to an experience that serves you, to an experience of well-being. Now, I want to summarize these few steps. I call them 3, 4, doesn't really matter, but take them with you to the next time you're going on a date, and realize it's so important that you're not going to tie the way you feel to whatever the guy says or whatever the girl says, okay? Be responsible of yourself, okay? Think about yourself right now, yeah? That way, when you think about yourself, how you can feel better, also the experience with a partner will be better. So, as we said, step number 1, change the way you appear, okay? Before you're going to go now on a date, take some deep breaths, focus on those breaths. After you do that, focus on what you have in life. Focus on things that you like in life. And focus on the qualities in yourself, that you believe in yourself, qualities that you appreciate in yourself. Because sometimes you go on a date and some people will say, well, I'm missing all these qualities, why would they really connect to me? So, aside. what do you connect to yourself? Okay, what are your good qualities? Focus over there. Then focus on the reasons that you said yes to the date, to whoever offered you to go out with that guy or girl, and focus on that. Okay, and decide this is going to be a good date, a good meeting with a good human being. Now, as we said also at the beginning, try to take the person to a place that has good energy, nothing to do with both of you. That way you could enjoy anyway. Number two, when you're in the date, you're meeting the person, you're there already. Okay, you went out of your house, she went out of her house, and you're there. Be present, be in the date, be with the person, be interested. If he told you or she told you something, dive in a little bit more. What do you mean? Oh, okay, interesting. What does that mean? And be really curious, not just to wait for the next answer. Just be curious about the person. Many times you'll all of a sudden discover, wow, amazing. By the way, maybe you'll discover that you don't want to keep on, but at least you had a good experience. You're coming to have a good experience no matter if you go for a second date or not. You're coming just to have a good evening with a good human being, have a good experience. Later on we'll see what happens. So be present, be there, be curious. Okay, that's really important. Don't start thinking what's going to happen in the future. Why are we here right now? Be here, be present, focus on what you could connect to. You're done with that, and now you're after the date and you're starting to think. Okay, step number 3, thinking. Paralysis of analysis. Your mind is going on 200 miles per hour thinking, why yes, why no, what's going to happen in the future? If I would have said yes a month ago, maybe things would go different. Like, wait, this quality maybe bothers me, but that quality I'm not sure. And your mind starts thinking. That's called the judge in your mind. So tell that judge in your mind, hey, dear judge, nice meeting you. I appreciate you here. You're probably here to help me, but right now I'm asking you a favor. Let's meet after I have some more information, after I meet the guy or the girl a few more times. Let's meet in a week. I'm not telling you that we're separating, dear judge. We'll meet in a week. In a week, let's think what's right and what's not. That way you put all the thoughts aside, and whatever comes up, you just zoom out, you look at that thought, and you're not connecting to it. You'll meet the thoughts in a week, okay? And believe me, I know it's possible because my mind also runs at 300 miles per hour. And when you do that, you put your judge aside, okay? Now, try focusing what was nice in the meeting, in that interaction with that human being. What did you connect to? And focus over there, okay? After you focus on what you connect to in the human being, if there are things that you didn't connect to, ask yourself, is there something that I could learn over there? Wait, is that something that is reflecting something in me and has nothing to do with the other person? Ask yourself those questions. And by the way, sometimes you also don't need to ask all these questions after the first time you're meeting a human being, first date. You could wait a few days, okay? Now, if you have decided after a date, after a few dates that, it's really not for you, all good. There's no reason to force yourself in continuing going out. But try to change the focus. Try to put the focus on what you could connect to, and realize relationships require work in order for them to thrive. Like anything good in life, you heard me saying this many times, anything you appreciate in life needs to have work put into it, okay? Otherwise you won't appreciate it. Even if it's something great but you didn't put the work in, it's nice, it's okay, but when you put the work in, wow, it's amazing. Okay, so after you did these few steps, just continue, whether it's continuing with this person you met, or you decided she's not for you or he's not for you, continue with the next. But something really important to understand, when you date so much, your mind always thinks about the next one, the next guy, the next woman. Remember, you're here to meet a person and to build with them a relationship, not to continue every time to the next. Okay, that's really important. And I want to share this point again, which is really important to all of you outside there, and I used to be also like that, and sometimes I'm still like that, that we tell ourselves, well, we can't be present, we can't focus on what we have because the other person, because things that are outside of me, because other people, because other places, because other conditions we had at work. If we're going to tie our well-being and our happiness on things on the outside, like I said, we're in jail. We can't move, because if it's on the outside, there's nothing we can do about it. Focus on these 3 steps before you go on a date. I know it's hard, I know you might be tired of it, but when you focus and you come that way to meeting a person, going on a date, you'll just have a great experience because you decided you'll have it, and you didn't only decide, you also did the right steps. in order to have that great experience. And when you feel better, usually the person around you feels better. And when you let your path, you also let the paths of the people surrounding you. And you create a life of much more well-being, and a life that you're in charge of whatever happens to you, and you're in charge mainly on the way you react to what happens to you. And when you do that, so that way your life will be in a place of much more well-being, much more happiness, much more light. I hope you enjoyed the video and you got some tools to overcome your challenges and light your path. For us to help other people, please press that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget that the most amazing things in life are the one you take for granted.